Hello guys, how we going? What's happening on this Tuesday afternoon? Thought we'd do a bit of a later stream today. Posted in a couple of the bigger Aussie groups, so hopefully people can sort of get home from work and jump on if they're able to. So today, guys, going to be going over. We're going to chart up some Bitmex pairs to show you guys how to add them to your watch list and so forth. And then we're going to go into a little bit of dollar cost averaging and what that actually means and how you can take advantage of the crypto market at the moment. So we're going to head over to, before we get started, we've got a mate of mine's just launched a new website called Shilltown. Okay, and the cool thing about this site is what it does is it captures what people are talking about on Twitter. It tells you the total amount of times certain coins and stuff are getting mentioned on Twitter. So he's obviously been pretty cool about helping me out as well. So my banners are on the website and stuff like that. So I thought I'd do a bit of a shout out and mention of this site. So that's Startcrypto.online, guys. I'll chuck it in the video description below as well for anyone that's interested to have a look. Now, what I'm going to end up doing with this website, I'm going to track some coins. Like once I add these coins with updated charts into my watch list and stuff, I'm going to track what coins are getting mentioned and whether or not that's actually impacting price much or not. Because as you guys know, a lot of the price movement comes from hype, and hype is just a bunch of people spreading the same word, and people get fear of missing out, and then people end up jumping into the coin or whatever when it's already made a move. So what we want to do is kind of track what's happening on certain coins. So we might even check out a couple of these today and see if they've actually moved, because this is based on the last 24 hours as far as I'm aware. So we'll check that out a little bit later on. So what we're going to do today, guys, we're going to just jump into some updating of charts and so forth. So let's jump into that now. If you guys haven't already got a TradingView account, link in the description below, guys, for a TradingView affiliate link down there. If you're going to buy TradingView, buy it in the next day. This 60% off is obviously a fairly substantial discount. 60% off has one day left, so that's pretty damn cheap for what it is. You can get I've got a yearly subscription just recently from that, so it's pretty cool. All right, well, let's jump into what we're going to do first. Is we'll do BTC. Okay, so BTC's on a bit of a run at the moment as well. Pretty sure this is our chart. This is our Bitmex chart from yesterday. Okay. But what we actually want to do is I want to add the Bitmex symbols, because we're going to be trading on Bitmex more and more. So what you can do is you can get the symbol from the actual market tab itself. Okay, so see this one, BCHZ18, ADAZ18, XBT USD. So what you need to do is up in your trading view, if you come up here and go XBT USD, excuse me guys, you'll see crypto Bitmex. Okay, we want to add that on our charts. We'll zoom out to the daily. We'll put a couple of trading lines back on here so we can show you guys what's going on. Put a fib retracement on there. See where we're potentially going. Okay, so there's obviously not a lot happening with BTC right now. We'll just chuck a We'll chuck a strong support line on there. So we've got one strong one at 3K. We've got another strong one at 6K. And we've got a bit of a, we've got an alright one at about 4 to 4.2. There's a bit of a zone there, 4 to 4.2. That's obviously broken straight through that. So I'm not even going to really mark that on our chart. We're going to see what happens with price. We're going to see what happens with price around that zone. So judging by looking what's happening at the moment, okay, it does look like we're going to get down to that 3K level. We do have some support here though at 3.5. So if we, from a daily perspective, we're obviously still very bearish. Okay, we have started to decelerate here a little bit because we had a bearish, massive bearish candle here on the 24th. So we've started to slowly decelerate a little bit. And if we zoom down to 4 hourly, you can see on the 4 hourly we've actually got a double bottom forming at the moment. I'll just mark that for you guys here so you know what I'm talking about. Clips. So we've got a double bottom forming here. Okay, double bottom is obviously a reversal pattern. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to go. Doesn't mean we're going to go straight up. It means we could potentially get a small reversal, but until we start seeing this kind of thing, until we start getting higher highs and higher lows and higher highs past this point, you know, we're still bearish at the moment. So until we start to see this thing start to happen, we're definitely still bearish. And what generally happens is once you break a level, a strong level of support and resistance, a lot of the time we'll come back to retest it. So if we start to see higher highs and higher lows, there may be an opportunity around here somewhere to trade this back up to this kind of 6K level. Okay, but we need to wait for confirmation on that. So at the moment, BTC trading for me is no-go. No-go zone at the moment. And if you have any questions during this, guys, just chuck a chat in there. I can see the other screen. Got a second screen off here to the right, so I can see that. So no problems with answering questions and stuff. So yeah, until we start to see high highs and high lows, we're not really looking to trade BTC. At the moment, we're in a zone where we haven't been this low in about 13 months, and that's obviously, you know, from here, if you were to start shorting from this position, that would just be bad trading, because the move, you know, the move from 6K has already tanked massively down. If you're going to start opening trades here, that's just bad. That's just bad impatient trading, trying to catch the move. So we don't want to do that. We want to wait for confirmation of what's happening in the market, and we'll trade what we see. We'll trade what happens in the market. Okay, so that's Bitcoin at the moment. So we might just go through these. Go through Cardano. So this one's ADA Z18. So these are fresh charts. So we'll zoom out to our larger time frames. Oh, there's not much info on that at all. When did that? Oh, it just recently started trading. Okay. So any real level of support and resistance there is around here. Multiple touches acting as support, broke through it, came back, retested it here. Okay, and we can put a line here as well. That's our massive wick down, and then we've wicked down even further, came back up, retested it, and price is not really moving anywhere. So let's zoom down to our lower time frames and see if we can see a little bit more of what's going on. Okay, so obviously massively bearish. Like you can see, this kind of thing is just hugely bearish. Kind of want to get as many touches as you can on your trend lines. So you can see from a trend line point of view, it's just bearish as. For us to do anything with this, we would need pretty much a break above. Same thing with Bitcoin, you know what I mean? Like this is trading at extreme lows. So we're you know, we're not really looking to short this unless this starts to form. You know, this right here wouldn't have been a bad entry. This area right here, this bearish engulfing candle. Obviously, I wasn't looking at this at the time. That, you know, that kind of confirms we're still bearish. From a 4-hourly point of view, if you scroll up to a higher time frame chart, from a daily perspective, it's just a doji candle, which means the market is in indecision. So doji means prices moved up, prices moved down. It's closed basically right in the middle. That's just complete market indecision. And that's obviously showing, you know, the previous day before that was very bearish and spiked low, came back up. You can see that on the lower time frames. This is the spike down, this is the comeback up. Okay, then that's where it closed down here in the middle. So this whole movement here, this down, back up, down again to middle, that's what that one single candle looks like on a lower time frame, which basically means market indecision at the moment. So we need to wait to see what's happening with this. If we scroll down to, obviously we don't have many support resistance levels on our daily chart. We could, you know, it's a not bad one kind of around there. It's broken through a few times though, not really many touches. There's one up here, touched here, touched here, touched here. So this is when you're drilling down into lower time frames. As I was saying yesterday on the stream, guys, you know how we've got say a daily and a daily support and resistance zone. Within that zone, you might get a couple of 4-hour zones. Within the 4-hour zones, you might get a couple of 1-hour zones and so on. So if we go down to say a 1-hour chart, you get a lot more little support and resistance zones in here. So, you know, on an hourly time frame, you can see this kind of level here. Okay, this whole bit here. So that's like an hourly, you know, see how many touches, broke through it, retested it, come back down, bounced off it there, bounced off it here multiple times. So that's, you know, but from a higher time frame perspective, this is why you need to be patient in the market. That just looks like crap, you know what I mean? Like that's just, there's candles wicking through there everywhere. So yeah, it won't be trading that. So Cardano, Bitcoin Cash. This actually wicked right down there the other day on the 25th. So we go BCH Z18, Bitcoin Cash. Now you're going to have different charts for different prices will be slightly different. Bitmex uses a bit of an index across a couple of different exchanges. So if you're trading Bitmex, you want to have your Bitmex charts. If you're trading, say, on Binance or something like that, you want to have a Binance chart as well. Like if you're trading Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash, you want to have a Binance chart as well. So we'll just do these ones. We'll just do the Bitmex stuff today. So if we drill down to scroll out to a higher time frame, so there's not much info on that either. When's this from? It's only from September 18. Surely there's more than that. It's weird. There's a level here, multiple touches, wick down, spike back up, retested it here. Okay, this blue candle, retested it. So that's a good level. And you've got multiple touches all the way through here. We'll probably scroll down to a slightly lower time frame to see which level's going to be better. Because at the moment they're all just wicked candles. You could put a level just right here, 450, but we want to get a better level. So if we go down to a 4 hourly, you can see a much clearer picture across here. Touch here, touch here, touch here, touch here. Put a line in about there. We could even have another, I mean realistically that's a bit of a little zone through here. So if you had buy orders or whatever, you could have them anywhere down around this level. And this just here, 1, 2, 3 touches. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Seems to be our next kind of level of resistance. So if you were trading this from down to this level, you'd be looking to take profits up around this level somewhere. Now if we get down, we've got a pretty good support level here. If we were to get down here again somewhere, that might be a decent trade opportunity as long as there's a bit of a confirmation there and it doesn't just take off. Because what happens sometimes, guys, obviously, you know, if you get down to a level, you want to see some deceleration as well, and a deceleration is basically a smaller candle that doesn't really move much, kind of like one of these, like a doji candle. So if you were looking for a reversal around this point in time, that kind of candle is good to see, okay, because that shows you that the bullish pressure has kind of run out. The buyers and the sellers are kind of, you know, equal because it's moved up, moved down, and ended up in the middle there. And that is, you know, that can go either way. That can either be a continuation pattern or a reversal pattern. If it turns into a reversal pattern, if we scroll down to a lower time frame and you see some reversal patterns, you can then trade it. Now that is this candle here. That's this setup here. So if you see stuff like this, moving back up, we're decelerating, we get a bearish engulfing candle. That tells me that it's going to go bearish because it's a bearish engulfing candle. It means the sellers have basically overtaken the buyers with fairly high confidence, and we're going to continue to downside. So that's why I use bullish and bearish engulfing candles a lot in my trading, because it's a confirmation. Now obviously if you were here somewhere and you got that candle, that's great. If you got a candle that's like this big straight after here, obviously you've missed the move. There's no point in trying to catch that. You might as well move on and look for the next bit, because there's no point. If you had a, you know, a level down around, if you had like a zone around here, you basically traded straight into resistance, support. Okay, so just be careful with that sort of stuff. Obviously you want to get in, but you also don't want to get in after a move has already happened, you know, majority of a potential push. So sometimes you might spot the upcoming perfect setup and then you're waiting for confirmation, and then confirmation just confirmation happens, but it's too fast and disappears. So, you know, can't catch them all. BCHZ18. Okay. So what we'd be looking for with this is we'd be looking for another area up here somewhere like these, get a reversal pattern to trade back down towards this zone, or if we now get a pullback back down to around this area and we spot a reversal pattern back off down this zone somewhere. And if you were trading that, you'd have to keep your stops below these wicks, okay? Because if you get wicked out, so you'd want to put them below this 0.04 level. You'd want to have them down in the 0.0 high threes, 0.04 round psychological number. This is what happens with a lot of stop hunting, okay? Stop hunting, or even large liquidations or large orders that come into the market can spike and wick the market a lot, and you need to make sure your stop or your stops, either your stops or your liquidation prices, depending on how you're setting your orders, are above areas high enough. Same goes for when you're setting take profit levels. You can set them either just before or just after, depending on how strong the level is. So it's Bitcoin Cash, EOS is EOS Z18. EOS Z18. Again, guys, if you got any questions, post them up. These wicks are pretty ugly. Very nice. Have that anywhere there. You have a bit of a zone here. A few wicks in here. Massive wicks. A whole nother zone there. Yeah, this is pretty. Probably wouldn't be trading this much with leverage. Nice level here. Multiple touches. So again, this has actually been moving up a little bit, getting a bit of a pullback at the moment. It's still making higher highs and higher lows, which I'll outline for you here. So these are all higher lows. Double bottom there as well. If this starts to break below here, you can see a nice level here as well. Bounced off multiple times. Current price action is more important than history price action. Bounced off here multiple times. Okay, so if we get a reversal here, because it's failed to break above this multiple times now, if we get a reversal from here, this candle here is pretty good, because we've had a nice, we've bounced off here, come back down, bounced off again, we've started to come down, we've got a nice bullish engulf in there, but the problem is we're looking for a larger reversal. So until we break like this, until we break below this part here, we're not making a lower low. So we need to break below these ones here. Okay, see how all these are lower, 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 lower. So we need to break below this one here. And then what you'd be looking for is effectively like a fib retracement, something like this, and then a continuation, another bearish engulfing to confirm a move down further. that would only be one lower low and one lower high though, which generally it's not really, you know, not really a lot there. Thoughts on $4 ETC? Let's have a look. Let's go have a look-see. So we'll chart up Binance ETC, okay? Because it'll be the most volume. So if we have a look on here and coin market cap, ETC, where is it? 17 at the moment, $4.32. It's very cheap. ETC, BTC. We're on the Binance chart. So from a straight up trading point of view, this is where we're going to get into. If you've got BTC on the sidelines ready to buy altcoins, this is where I'm going to go over how to do dollar cost averaging, because what's happening, what we're seeing on a lot of altcoins are, we're seeing altcoins pull back to levels either from before the last bull run or sometimes even lower than the last bull run, as you can see on Ethereum Classic here. Now, you know, these were our last two levels before the big run, okay? Which I'll put a little line across here. Hey Michael, what's up, buddy? So put a little line across here. And that's at 0.00, basically 14. So let's just put it up to 14, make it easy. Nice round number. 0.0014. Okay, and now we've broken below. We're down at 0.001145. I believe, let me have a look, because before it started trading on Binance, and if you get stuck, guys, if you want more information back further, I think it'll be on Poloniex charts, because Poloniex was obviously #1 trading volume before Binance was. So if we go back to, I'll make it a day chart. This is 17th of August. Yeah, so see how Binance chart only goes back to, what was it, like October 2017. Poloniex will go back further than that. So we're already in August. Now, I'm sure this coin was, yeah, here we go. It was lower than that at some point. So our extreme lows, is that November? So November last year were our previous lows again, but they were at 114. The year before that, pretty much at the same time, we're at 0.001. Okay, so anywhere down near 0.001, I believe you'll get a good push. And the way dollar cost averaging works is like this, okay? Let's say you have, we'll use round figures for example. Let's say you have one Bitcoin, right? And you go, okay, cool. I believe this is a good looking price. So you go, okay, well, I'm going to buy some ETC at, let's just use current market price as an example. Just say I'm going to buy it at this rate. Now, what dollar cost averaging means is you can buy, this is what I do as well with my altcoins when I'm scaling in as well, because price can obviously drop down from where it is, and it can also wick a lot if, let's say at this price point right here, there's a massive you know, there's a person with a lot of Ethereum Classic, and they just go, nah, this is crap. Oh, I'm over this market. I'm just going to get out, and they just dump their whole bag, right? What that does is it chews into all of these buy orders, and it pushes price down. You get one of them big wicks, kind of like this setup here. You know, it went from within a day, and if we scroll down to an hourly chart, you'll probably see it's probably even just. No, it's not all in one go, but from a price point like this, say from 0.0013, you know, it wicked all the way down to 0.00116. You know, so there's about a 20%, about a 10 to 15% drop there within, like, you know, a 4-hour, 8-hour period. So if you were kind of seeing price come down here and you go, okay, cool, I'm going to buy some coins here. If you have another sell order, if you have another buy order down lower at the next possible level, if it gets wicked to there, it still fills your buy order, okay, and price returns. So at this price here, you know, our last previous lows, like low lows, were 0.001 flat. So if you were to buy here, for me, you would also want to. I would also then set another buy order just above. You see this stuff here? This round, very close to round psychological numbers. If you were to set your buy order just above that, like 1004, for example, if price wicked all the way through there, it would hit your buy order first. And then I go into this in my training, guys, in the free training on Startcrypto.online. I talk a lot about buy and sell walls, okay? And what they refer to are big orders in the market, which a lot of the time, if there's a lot of big orders close together, obviously that acts as a support level or a resistance level if you're selling, okay? So big orders like this, you put your buy order one little point above that, and then if price wicks down to there, it fills your order before tanking into that wall, okay? So, you know, if you were to buy here, for example, you know, you'd set another buy order, you know, another 50 to 100 price points down, and then another buy order 50 to another 100 price points down below that again, and you could split it up into, you know, depending on how much you wanted to spend, you can split it up either evenly, or you can have a larger amount at your first order or a larger amount at your second order or third order if you don't really, you know, if price gets down to that third order and you're not really confident with your buy orders, and price may continue down further, well then, you know, have your largest order at the bottom. And what that does is it makes it so you're not buying everything at one level, and then if price continues to go lower, you're not picking it up. So if, let's say, the reason why you want to average in is, say, let's say 1150, for example. If you had one buy order there, 1150, and then you put one buy order at 1000 flat with the same amount of Bitcoin, this lower buy order would actually pick up more coin. So your break even level would be somewhere around 1050, 1060. You know what I mean? So if price never returned to your original first buy order, you could still close out of the market if it moved up only a little bit. So that's what dollar cost averaging really is at the end of the day. It's setting multiple buy orders to then be able to get out of the market or still make a decent profit once the market moves up. So Ethereum Classic for me, you know, right now, it's in a pretty reasonable spot. I mean, you could actually say that about most coins at the moment. You know, many of them are at very, very low prices. So it's more about, the way I do this in this sort of market is I go through the market cap, right? And I put more emphasis on the coins that are higher in the market cap order. Okay, so if I saw a good setup on Ethereum Classic at 17, but then if I saw the same sort of setup on Redcoin, I'm going to pick Ethereum Classic because it's got more volume. It's more people are looking at it. It's, you know, it has a much higher percentage chance that it's going to increase in value rather than a coin that's much lower. And that obviously changes depending on how far you go down the tree. And we've got over 2,070 currencies at the moment. But I put majority of my emphasis now on the top. The higher the market cap coin for me, the more emphasis I put, the more weight I put on that trade, based on it's got more potential to move to my sell orders, basically. Our lower market cap coin has most of the time an opportunity to move a higher percentage, but it'll generally take longer in time unless there's a pump or something on that coin at the time. So Ethereum Classic, for example, if you were to buy around these levels we're at now, once the coin started to take off again, you've got multiple sell levels here. You've got a good level around 0.002, so that's almost 100% gain. You've got good sell levels around 0.0024 up to 0.0028. So buying right there, there's an opportunity there easily to possibly double money from that. And once we turn into a bullish market again, things like this start happening. So that's 0.001, highs are 0.004. As far as Ethereum Classic is concerned, these previous highs are definitely achievable again in another bullish market. No doubt about that. They're definitely possible again. And you can see here on our RSI, it's ridiculously oversold. Like massively oversold. Even on the weekly chart. Now, problem is you still got the previous week, we're still accelerating bearishly. So if you're going to buy this, I would definitely set extra buy orders down, down lower. But yeah, nothing wrong with Ethereum Classic at all. Just quickly check this. Oh yeah, show a step-by-step walkthrough on how to use Bitmex for long, short. Yeah, okay. Yep, we can do that. So, long and short on Bitcoin, for example. If we use Bitcoin, right, if we've got, this is obviously a quantity in US dollars, not Bitcoin. So let's just use $5 for example. You can do a few different entries here. Most common is it's just on the market tab by default. Now, if you wanted to open a position, let's say we want to open a long position, you buy market. If you want to open a short position, you sell market. Down here, it shows you the order value, okay? Shows you how much Bitcoin that's going to cost you to open. And down here is where you can change your leverage levels. Now, generally you want to be using, minimal leverage. Leverage is more of a tool to be used, so you don't have to have all of the Bitcoin in your Bitmex account. For example, like let's say you've got 1 Bitcoin, you can chuck 0.1 of a Bitcoin in here, trade with 10 by leverage, and that's as if you're trading with 1 Bitcoin effectively. That's kind of how leverage works. There's nothing wrong with also using leverage if you're in a position and you're scaling in, like if the position is moving your way, right, and you've already made gains on the way up. There's nothing wrong with scaling into another position with more leverage, as that's going to effectively bring your either your liquidation or stop price up. So I'll just show you how to do it. Let's just put in $5. Let's just buy a position. Okay, order fulfilled. Shows you the size down here. If you're using leverage, that's on 10 leverage at the moment. It shows you a entry price and it shows you a liquidation price based on what you've opened the trade for. You can add extra margin here. I wouldn't recommend adding extra margin if the position is going against you, because that's just realistically gambling. Because if you come in here and you add more margin in to move your stop loss, you know, to move your liquidation price further away, that's just, you know, you might as well not do that, because you've already planned the trade before you've taken the trade, and you go, okay, well, I want my stop or I want my liquidation price to be here on that position, and I'm not going to add any more position to it. Otherwise, you're just losing extra percentages, okay, of your trade. Now, so that's how to buy and sell at market. Limit order is like basically the same thing as you know, as just setting a buy or sell order. Stop market is more so you put a stop price in, and you can trigger it and so forth. I'll do a video specifically on how to use these all separately in an actual training video, and then I'll add that into the site. So guys, if you're not on Startcrypto.online, I'll do a video specifically on all of that and then add it to the site. But that's roughly how you use it. If you want to then close your position, once you've opened a position, you can obviously set a price for it to close at. Okay, so let's say this position here, I bought $5 worth of Bitcoin. Let's say my next resistance level is at 4K, and let's say I want to close it at, like, you know, 3,995. I put that price in and then I hit close. Okay, it says, yep, you're going to close this, and then that sets my close. So when price gets to that, that's effectively someone selling that order. Like you're selling it to the market then at that price. Okay, so if you want to close that, you can cancel it. So if you go to bed or something, you know, you can set your limit on the order. The other way to close partial positions is effectively what you do is, if you've got, let's say you've got $5 open, $500, $5,000 open, whatever. If you want to sell, say, a little bit of that position, you can do a limit order. Okay, and you can go two, for example, and you can set the price in here, and then you can, let's say we have a long position, we can sell short at that amount, and it'll close off a portion of our position. Okay, but I'm going to do a full video. I'm going to do a full video on that, how to use that, because it does get confusing for some people. So we'll go over that stuff. Has anybody else got any questions, guys? So the video will be up here, guys. Startcrypto.online. For anyone that's here, this has a completely free trading course for you. You go to trading content, beginners course, okay? And sign up. These are links to the exchanges that I use. These are places you can buy Bitcoin from, and this is hosting for Masternodes if you need to. And then you can basically go through these videos. Now this full beginner course is suited more to a bullish market. It's a perfect bullish market strategy, the beginner course. It works very, very well in a bullish market. So if you're not sure what you're doing, follow that, and then when we get into our next bullish market, use that, okay? And you'll be very happy. So yeah, that's Ethereum Classic. Where was that chart? EOS. We did EOS. ETC, BTC. We'll actually finish charting this up. As it's a Binance chart and we will use it. Views in the last 24 months in crypto overall, very good. You know, knowing what I know now, I've now been through. I got into crypto. I got back into Bitcoin early 2016, and started trading at mid to late 2016. Again, like started trading Bitcoin and altcoins. Kind of missed most of the bearish market last time it happened. This time, obviously, it's pretty fascinating to see how much price can pull back to where it originated from, which is what I've kind of always said at the beginning, because realistically, most altcoins, now not all of them, because obviously now we've got platforms like, you know, Bitmex where you can short a lot of stuff. Previously, we didn't really have a lot of platforms. So Poloniex was the largest in volume. They did have margin trading only on a few coins, okay, only on these coins. So any other coins that you were buying were really like a stock. You know, it was like buying a stock. It wasn't like trading Forex, it was more like trading stocks. So basically what would happen was you'd get moves where you would accumulate your crypto at obviously a low price. You'd set your sell orders, you know, as long as you bought it low enough, your sell orders would hit very easily. If that's where the dollar cost average in play came into play a lot of the time, because back then it was like you just buy altcoins and sell them at a high price, so more like stock trading. There wasn't a lot of there was a heap of pump and dumps happening, so the market was it was even more volatile than what it is now, to be honest. Like it needed a lot less volume to pump the market than what it does now, put it that way. So you'd get moves in the market, obviously you get pullbacks, but what you'd kind of see was you'd see this kind of thing happening. You'd get altcoins at a price, people would accumulate, they would buy, and then the reason why the price would be coming down in value is anyone that's bought lower, they're selling off their profits, and price will eventually come back down to, you know, 80-90% of what it was, and the market would still step up, because after people buy here, they sell, you know, anywhere on the way up here, they're selling on the way back down here. You'd still have people that bought coins and haven't bought or sold any more through this whole period, and they're still holding their coins. Okay, so these people that still bought here, price wouldn't come back down to zero because a bunch of people would just hold their coins. So it was kind of easy to predict what was going to happen, whereas now there's a lot more actual analysis involved with the coins themselves, a lot more technical analysis. Technical analysis in 2016 was pretty crappy, like it was almost non-existent, to be honest. It was more about just finding the right coins and finding them at extreme value, like just really stupid low prices. So now it's actually more of a trader's market where you do actually need to use proper analysis, whereas back then it was just, you know, you could pretty much buy anything if you got it at a low enough price and sell it at a profit, realistically, regardless of the coin. There were very little coin delistings, even on, you know, Poloniex and stuff used to have ridiculous amounts of coins on there that some of them, the projects had even like failed and people were still buying and selling the coin. just because it was there to be traded, you know, just because it was there to be sold. So there was a lot of weird stuff going on in the market back then. It's good where it is now. It's still that same sort of thing, but a lot of other platforms are now opening up to. You've got a lot of over-the-counter trading, which doesn't even show on the exchanges. You've got a lot of platforms like Bitmex and that, where you can actually short a lot more coins. Bitfinex, those sort of guys, where you can short a lot more stuff. So yeah, it's more of a trader's market now. So I like the market. I liked the market back then, but I like the market more now because it's more of a trader's market. I hope that makes sense. So what's going to be interesting coming up over the next couple of days is really what's going to happen with Bitcoin. If we get, where are we? If we do get down to this, you know, this kind of 3K level, it'll be very interesting to see if we bounce off that and form a good support level from that, or if we just break below it and tank a lot further. Because if we break below that, our next level is going to be down around that 1300 level, which I'll show you guys why on here, back here. I mean, you've got a bit of a level here at, you know, 2.2. That's not really a substantial level for me though. There's a bit of a level here at 2.6 as well. You've got to bounce off here. You've got to bounce off here. You know, price is kind of moving through here. You've got a couple of good touches here. A few good touches here. So realistically, you could have a level there as well. We could put a level at 2.6. I myself would probably more treat that as a zone rather than an exact kind of support and resistance level. So when I say zones, oh, pardon me. When I say zones, I mean price will kind of go within that level. So if we broke and closed below 3K, it's not the end of the world. It's like, yeah, well, we could go down to 2.6 or something. The next level below that is then our previous highs at 1300. Which is, there's a bit of a level here as well. So there's a couple of levels there which could be considerable. Yeah, there's a bit of a one here at 1900. The problem is with this kind of level, we've really only broken it and retested it once and then come back to retest it a second time. Whereas a level like 3K, we've been around there. It's a more significant level because we had a massive breakout and then a pullback to that exact level again before a huge bullish run. So this is our previous levels back here, 1300, and this chart doesn't go back far enough, 2017, but 1300 was also the all-time high back in I think it was 2012 or 2013, 1300. January 14, somewhere around late 2013. It definitely spiked up to about 12 or 1300, and then it crashed back to like 200, less than 200. Oh, here we go. Oh no, October 1st. Yeah, Bitcoin passed $1,000. Prices fell to 200 in early 2015. So that is a, you know, that's almost the same sort of time what we're looking at now. You know, so we could continue to fall until early sort of 2019, possibly, if history repeats itself, which it does a lot of the time. So we will see what plays out. If we get anywhere near, you know, $1,000 Bitcoin, $1,200 Bitcoin, I'll be selling a lot of assets to buy a shitload of Bitcoin, basically. Because the potential for the upside from that sort of level is just, it's just so good, you know what I mean? Obviously everything comes with risk and reward, but I wouldn't mind taking a big risk on that if it got that low. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Close out of that one. But yeah, let me know how you go with your ETC. Let me know how you, what you decide to do, how you go with it. Are you familiar with how to set your buy orders on Binance? Have you got a Binance account, Plasma? Gold Bitcoin. 117%. I miss them. Miss them days. You'd regularly see coins moving for hundreds of percentages on Poloniex every day. Ethereum's still crashing as well. $100 Ethereum, that's like really, that's a pretty good buy as well. Bitcoin Cash, anything can be, like all of these coins. Stellar is actually one of the coins that's held its own through majority of this run. XLM, BTC, Binance. Stellar is actually one of the coins that has held its own through majority of this run, as in it's crashed probably the least out of most of the coins. I remember buying Stellar Lumens for about 600 to 800 sats and then selling off a lot during this 6K up move. And Stellar is kind of it was moving at the same time Ripple was moving. So every time Ripple was moving, you'd see Stellar moving as well. They were very connected in that way. So for me, Stellar moving forward is actually a good buy anywhere. If you can get Stellar now below 3K sats, that's a pretty good buy. and it's moved a few times as well. So off 3K, it's been moving through this whole bearish market. I haven't really been trading a lot of Stellar. It's pretty good. So if we get a move back down to kind of this 3K level, there may be a good trading opportunity for that as well. Name like chat, top chat, live chat. So yeah, that's kind of it, guys. Anyone else got any questions while we're here? If not, I might call it there. So we've kind of done what we needed to do with the stream. I wanted to show you guys how to add them into the trading view, how to update your Bitmex charts, and we've gone over the dollar cost averaging, which I wanted people to learn, and we've also shown you how to use Bitmex pretty quickly, but I'll do a proper video on that and we'll get that onto the website. So guys, before we head off again, Startcrypto.online, guys, it's completely free to sign up. There is a 20% affiliate program for anyone who subscribes with your link. If you want to get your affiliate link, if you go to home affiliate area once you've signed up, you can come in here, you can create a link, okay, and sign up. PayPal commissions get paid out 15th of every month, and that's ongoing as well. So subscription will be for the advanced content and also for the future live streams. So once we get a few people, the live streams will then be private. There's also private forums for people interested. Okay, like members only forums. Now the good thing about this, we're not going to get a lot of spam, we're not going to get a lot of crap, because it's people who have either subscribed or bought forum access specifically. So it'll be good for people to be able to post ideas there and get feedback there as well. So we might call it there, guys. Thanks for tuning in very much, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace out.